I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, come on, oh, come on. Janice Hunter was a 17-year-old high school student when 34-year-old Marvin Gaye crooned her open. When you type Janice Hunter into Wikipedia, it forcibly redirects to Marvin Gaye's page. He is, after all, the only reason we know her name. When you Google Janice Hunter, the first result is the headline, "Marvin Gaye's wife reveals how he tortured her." She still speaks of loving him. Does she still have a name? Lori Maddox was a 15-year-old virgin when 27-year-old David Bowie groomed her wide open for Jimmy Page to follow, then Mick Jagger, who sang to her of wild horses, and, of course, young girls are Mustangs, from the Spanish Mustango, meaning ownerless beast. Mustangs have no natural predators but the men who catch and break them. Childhood living is easy to do. To break a wild horse, first you must gain its trust. Sing to it, call it pretty until you mount. Get the reins on quickly, wild beasts must be controlled from the head. Give it a new name, something easy for you to say like baby. She will forget she ever owned the wind. I was 13 when the first man-boy tried to tell me he loved me. He was 20. I pretended not to hear him and hung up. I was 15 when the next man-boy tried to tell me he loved me. He was 20. I pretended not to hear him and hung up. I was 16 when the third man-boy tried to tell me he loved me. He was much older than 20. I pretended not to hear him and hung up. And how they loved me. Called me muse, watching me playful in open fields. Fame makes a man take things over. Called me quiet, teasing with handfuls of oats. Fame, what you want is in the limo. Called me beautiful until I stopped kicking. Called me theirs. Called it love. Is it any wonder? Say, there's nothing wrong with me loving you. There's nothing wrong with me loving you. There's nothing wrong with me loving you. Say it like a mantra until it feels true, until the saddle feels like skin, until the yoke feels like religion. There's nothing wrong with me loving you. Does love mean to lasso a feral mare? Does love ride bareback and call itself quick? Does love mean to harness the thunder in my hips until it all feels yours? Does love always catch around the throat or as a bit in the mouth like so? The first time I told a man I loved him, I coughed up a rusted chain and a collar, traced it with my tongue and found my own name already engraved there, just below my mother's. And wild, wild horses, we'll ride them someday.